Hey guys, how you doing? This is Juan with Liberty Graphic Designs, and today we're going to be making or replacing our pallets on the screen press. So stay tuned and I'll show you real quick how to do that. My pallets, they're still okay, but I noticed that some of them are starting to work. So stay tuned. I already took one apart. If your machine has wooden pallets, you will want to stay and watch this video. If you have the M&R type pallets, you can still watch the video. It's pretty cool. Let me show you how we cut everything nice and square, nice and straight, and then we'll drill those 4 holes and put some inserts in there so we can put the screws or the bolts in there so it'll receive this little base. Cool. So I already took one apart. Let me take the other 4 apart, and then we'll start cutting the wood. Cool? Stay tuned. Well, there you go. All pallets are out. Today is Sunday. I'm going to try to get it done before I go back to church. So, let's get to it. I'm going to take you outside because right now we're standing in my press room. This used to be my shop, so all my tools and stuff, they're in the back. So I have to do it outside because, you know, it's going to create a lot of sawdust, which we cannot have here because it'll get all over the inks and stuff. So we're going to take you outside in a little bit. So okay, so here's the plywood that I'm going to be using. I cut it at, I think it was like 23 3/4. Yeah, 23 1/2. So it's 23 1/2, and then I'm going to cut it 15 1/2 wide. And the reason why I'm gonna cut it 15 1/2 wide is because we're gonna use laminate for the top, and the laminate measures 4 feet or 48 inches. And if I cut it 16 inches, that's 48. But I'm gonna lose some in the width of the blade, so that's why I'm gonna cut it 15 1/2. So I'll measure the 15 1/2. You go, and this cut, it has to be perfectly straight, otherwise your registration will be off. This ain't doing really much. All I needed is for, so when this falls, it falls right on top of something. And I'm using this jig where you can set up your measurement of 15 1/2. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that it does measure 15 1/2. Move it over. There you go. And once this jig is set, you don't have to set it again. It's ready to go. So you just need to move this over a little bit. And this side right here, you have to keep this side perpendicular to the or parallel, not perpendicular, parallel to the wood, so it'll cut nice and straight. There we go. First one, nice and straight. So let me draw some center lines. That way I can have everything nice and square, nice and center. And then we'll do the rest of the drilling the holes for the little bases. So I tried making a jig for this hose right here, but then when I tried the jig to the rest of the brackets, the holes are not in the same spot, so I had to chunk it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to do it one at a time. So basically, find the center, and it's really easy to find the center because there's like a factory mark right there. So I'm just gonna use that as a center. And that's the bottom of my line. That's the 1-inch line that I put in there, making sure that everything is nice and straight. There you go, that looks straight. And right here it'd be nice if I put a piece of double-sided tape. That way when I go to drilling it, it doesn't move on me. Not only a big one, just a little one. There's also an arrow telling me which way I need to go. Okay, so on this one, we're going to drill all the way through it. We're not going to bolt it to the wood because when we're screen printing, we put so much pressure on it, it'll actually come off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill all the way through it and put some inserts from the other side, and that way we can screw that to the bracket. Okay.
The robot. Iron Man is the robot and Dragon is the whooper. Oh man.
Okay. That's my son over there. Okay, so as you notice, I can't get to those two holes, so I'm gonna have to drill those by hand. Okay, so this is what we're gonna put in on the other side. We put it right there, and then the screws go through the other side, or the bolts. But in order for that, we gotta drill like a little countersink on it. And for that, we're gonna use a paddle bit. And we're only doing just a little bit. We're not doing a whole lot. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive those little inserts. That way they can be flush with the wood, because right now they're sticking out about 1/4 of an inch. And what I do is I put my bolts on this side. That way I can drive them in. And once you drive them in, they'll be set. So right now, they're already in there. They're set. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the contact adhesive. And this is what we're using. Again, this is what they use for countertops. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a little piece of tape, and I'm gonna cover this. They're called T-knots. So I'm gonna cover the little hole so I don't get any glue inside of it. So when I go to put the bolts in there, nothing gets in the way. Hey guys, so it's already Tuesday. I said I was gonna finish this pallets on Sunday. It didn't happen, so here we are, Tuesday. Yesterday it was crazy, so I ended up in Dallas. I couldn't finish the pallets, so that's what we're doing right now. And what I'm doing right now, it's I'm cutting the excess. So I'm gonna show you how to cut the excess. I already cut the excess on this one's right here. So that's what I'm doing on this one. And what you want to do is you take I use this little thin alpha, they call alpha knives. You can use a X-Acto knife, or you can use a regular utility blade. Just cut, you know, along the edge of the pallet. You just don't want to, you don't have to go all the way through it. And then once you squirt it, I guess, make sure you break it with your fingers, but don't break it out, break it against the wood. If you break it out, if you break it this way, you might have a split where it runs back into the pallet. You don't want that, so that's why you break it in. Just be careful, make sure you wear gloves, because this stuff can cut you real bad. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna find our center. And if you remember, when I started making this, I put a center in the back and I ran it all the way across. That way I know that my center is good on this side and on this side. Make sure you double, triple check, triple measure, because the end result is gonna be your t-shirt. So you don't want to be giving out or giving customers bad prints. We don't want any rejects. So that's why it's very important that everything is nice and square. If you have a better way to find your center, go ahead and do that. Don't try to follow what somebody else is doing. Just make sure everything is nice and center. I'm just gonna transfer the line over. And notice how I'm going off of my center over here, not this line. So I want to see if it's actually center. And as you can see, that sucker was dead on. I'll show you in a little bit. There you go. It's right in the center. If you keep going, see, right on center. I say you're gonna need a compass. Well, we're screen printers. Some of us might not even know how to use a compass, but we can't use ink. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a gallon of ink. So I'm gonna use this gallon of ink to come up with my radius for the neck. Okay, so let's just make sure that this is in the center. And I got 4.5 here. And I got 4.5 there. So that's in the center. I'm just gonna move it down a little bit, double check. 4.5. 4.5. There you go. Okay, so now what you gotta do is just go around, and you don't have to go around all the way. You're just gonna go about halfway. There you go. So now we've created the little deal right there. And if you're happy with that, you can use that. So now, if you notice, this one over here has a radius at about 1.5 inches. So we can do the same here. Go down 1.5 inches. And then draw a line at your 1.5 inches from this radius to that. Just like so. What I'm doing right now is I'm just using common objects to come up with my radiuses. Usually you will use a compass to find your little circle. So we're using just common objects. So to have a little rounded edge, I'm gonna use this can. It's a lubricant for my embroidery machine. Find whatever radius you want and then just draw your line. Just like so. And this is so the shirt slides in there nice and easy. And we're only going to make one, because then we'll take this one. This will be exactly the same size as the other one. We'll just lay this one on top of the other one and we'll cut the other ones like that. So now we're going to make these two lines match. Not match, I mean they're matching right now, right? But we want one continuous line. Go back a little bit. Again, the reason why I'm not using a compass is because a compass would require a lot of measurements. And this is a lot faster, just for the video. And you also want to do that in the back, so when you pull the shirt out, you don't have anything catching on. There you go. There's your corners. This is the line we're gonna start right here. Gonna go over, go up, down, and then over, and then down. And that'll be our pattern. And then we'll take this pattern, put it on top of the other ones, and just trace it. And that'll be ready to go. Cool? So I'm just gonna get a jigsaw and we're gonna go outside and cut this out. Cool? Let me take you outside. It's been raining, so there's gonna be water all over the place. So cool, I'm gonna take you outside and we can cut this out. Okay, my camera is about to die. I'm gonna try to cut it real quick and then I come back and cut the other one. So again, my camera is about to die, so you might not see me cutting the other ones. You gotta have this very smooth. If you don't have a router to route the edges, you can use the sander and just sand just ever so slightly to give it a little contour. So you can cut this sharp edge, and I'll show you how. Again, if you don't have a router, you can use this. Okay guys, so I got everything cut, ready to go. I ended up not using the router. I'm sorry, my battery went down, or my camera went down, the battery died. You didn't get to see all the sanding. I didn't get to use the router because I actually like the finish. It's very smooth. Just using the sander. So again, I apologize you didn't get to see that part. And then as soon as I put this all together, I'm gonna show you how to draw the lines so all your shirts are nice and straight. And here we are putting the machine back together, or the pallets back together. And I'm pretty sure you always see people, you know, talking about 4 fingers down. Well, we don't all have the same width on our fingers. Some people have chunky hands, some people have skinny hands. But if you want to know how to measure your stuff right and it's right, put a shirt, the shirt that you're actually going to be printing on. This is actually a small. I normally use a large because the large is more common, but you can use a small. So just put a mark right there. Oops, we just messed that up going up. Put a mark right there at the top of the collar, and then from there we're going to measure 4 inches. Grab our T-square, and this is why it's really important that this line, when you cut this pallets, is very important that they're very straight. So you grab your mark or your T-square at the 4-inch line and draw a line. That line right there, that's the first line, or the line that you're going to be using the most if you're making like company t-shirts with the logo on the left chest or on the right chest. That's the bottom of your design. So now we got to go 4 inches. Let me grab this. We got to go 4 inches either way or both ways. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. That cross line, 4 inches down, 4 inches over, that's the center of your logos. Since I already measured it, I just take my design and put it dead center in that line. And all the shirts are going to be the same. They're all going to have the logo on the right spot. So when I go to print, I don't have to worry about, you know, what position am I going to use it on. And since you're going to do this to all the pallets, then everything should be symmetrical. So there you have it. Make a couple more lines. I usually use my T-square, and I use the same width at the T-square to make a series of lines. Okay, so if you like this video, hit the little thumbs up, subscribe, share, like, ding the little bell, and stay tuned. Right after I load this video, I'm gonna go get the supplies for a jig for a koozie and for leggings. And I'm gonna try to load 4 videos today. So stay tuned. Again, if you like, subscribe, hit like, share, and ding the little bell. Again, I hope this was useful to you. Comment below and let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you want to see some other videos. It was a pleasure, like always. I love doing these videos for you guys. If you want to see something else, let me know. Comment below, and we'll make those videos for you. Peace out. Thank you for watching.
So Iron Man's got the poo-poo mama.
How you doing?
Iron Man's got the poo-poo mama.
Uh-huh.
Yes?
What?
Iron Man's got the poo-poo mama.
So this line right here, this is 1 inch. That's where the base is gonna go. From here up. This is actually you're looking at the back side right now. So this will be the back of number, say for example, number 1. Yeah,
Wow, you're scary.
I'm scary.
The thing making sounds.
Oh. Where are you going?
Go get my journal book. To draw the picture in your car.
Okay. You have to make sure that this center matches the other one, and notice how both of the lines actually match all the way around. That's when you know you're nice and center. So, okay, so here's the plywood that I'm going to be using. I cut it at, I think it was like 23 3/4. Yeah, 23 and a half. So it's 23 and a half, and then I'm going to cut it 15 and a half wide. And the reason why I'm going to cut it, 15.5 wide is because we're going to use laminate for the top, and the laminate measures 4 feet or 48 inches, and if I cut it 16 inches, that's 48, but I'm going to lose some in the width of the blade, so that's why I'm going to cut it 15.5. So I'll measure the 15.5. There you go. And this cut, it has to be perfectly straight. Otherwise, your registration will be off. This ain't doing really much. All I needed is for, so when this falls, it falls right on top of something. And I'm using this jig where you can set up your measurement of 15.5. So right there, so there's really no need to measure your wood over here, but if I cut it right, I have to be on the other side. But I have to make sure that it's right, because sometimes you don't set up your saw where it's supposed to be and you screw it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it does measure 15.5. Move it over. There you go. And once this jig is set, you don't have to set it again. It's ready to go. So you just need to move this over a little bit. And this side right here, you have to keep this side perpendicular to the or parallel, not perpendicular, parallel to the wood, so it'll cut nice and straight. There we go. First one, nice and straight. Like I said, I don't need to measure it anymore because this is already set. There's 2, we need 4. There you go. There's all 4 of them. So let me draw some center lines. That way I can have everything nice and square, nice and center. And then we'll do the rest of the drilling the holes for the little bases. Doing?
Diamond's got the purple llama.
Uh-huh.
Yes?
What?
Iron Man's got the purple llama.
So this line right here, this is 1 inch. That's where the base is gonna go. From here up, this is actually you're looking at the back side right now. So this will be the back of number, say for example, number 1. Yeah, you're good.
Wow, you're scary.
I'm scary?
The thing ain't making sounds.
Oh. Very good.
Go get my journal book to draw the picture in your car.
Okay. You have to make sure that this center matches the other one. And notice how both of the lines actually match all the way around. That's when you know you're nice and center.